And a jolly good morning to you from a rather overcast and blustery April morning here on the North Kent coast, specifically on the Medway estuary at a place called Horrid Hill. I've just completed a walk, actually, walking from Rainham railway station, which is about 3 miles away from here, to here, which is on another video if you're interested in looking at that. And now I'm going to take this walk, as advertised, from Horrid Hill here to Gillingham. So, as I say, we're out on a bit of a little bit of a spur sandbar, if you like, that's been turned into a kind of a breakwater to protect this area here, which is popular with birds and bird spotters. And over there used to be the Rainham dockyards, long since gone, and now it's a nature park. And very nice it is too, and as I say, that just as featured in my previous video, walking to here from Rainham. So as I say, if you want to catch that, please head over and have a look. I'm going to head off now, back in the direction I came, just a slightly different route. It's kind of a circular route around the end of Horrid Hill here, which I have to say isn't much of a hill, but nevertheless, that's the name it's been given. I'll just find my way back onto the proper footpath. This is certainly a lovely place to come and take a walk and walk your dog and so on. It's quite wild out here, although we are very close to an awful lot of civilization on the North Kent coast. It does feel quite remote out here, actually. So this walk back to Gillingham station is just over 3 miles, 3.5 miles, going to take just over 1 hour, so it's very slightly longer than the walk I've just done from Rainham, which is over there. And I've come all along the nature park there, which was the Rainham docks, up as far as this breakwater and Horrid Hill, which is kind of just here. I'm going to walk back across the breakwater now and then take a right-hand turn, carrying on around the coast, as I say, back towards Gillingham. Hopefully the walk to Gillingham will be as nice as the one I've just done walking out here, but we shall see. It's not an area I know particularly well, and I'm relying on the efforts of an app called Go Jauntly, which I use frequently, to send me the nicest route to Gillingham station. This is I'm not sure it's actually a bird sanctuary as such, but it's certainly an area birds, nesting birds, to feed. And this breakwater obviously protects from this strong wind blowing down the river estuary, and consequently the rougher waters sand spit that's been turned into a So if you combine the two walks that I'm doing today, which is really only one walk for me, but the two videos with one walk split into two, You would have a total of about 6.5 miles, maybe 7 if you amble about a little bit, between Rainham and Gillingham, with a total walking time of somewhere approaching 2.5 hours, I would say, including a walk out to Horrid Hill. Very nice walk, consider doing that. On the Go Jauntly app, it had an uplifted walk that someone had put in, a customer upload, which was from Rainham Station, a circular route back to Rainham Station. I prefer to do an A to B walk, so I kind of used part of that and created the rest of the walk myself using the A to B part of the app. So much better than using, say, Google Maps, as it will direct you along public footpaths and across parks and such like, rather than down roads and footpaths next to busy main roads. Yeah, well, as I was mentioning in my previous video, actually this time of year is the time of year for that sort of thing. Tidal surges, high spring tides, the surges up the river estuaries and flooding quite a long way short of that today. See where the tide frequently comes up to with the seaweed on the rocks there. And one thing I've seen quite a bit of walking along this footpath is rabbits. I haven't actually managed to catch one on film yet. They seem to pop out when I'm not filming. But certainly a lot of rabbits lurking around here. Everything a rabbit would need, I should imagine, around here. Yeah, looks like there used to be a nice boardwalk down there at one time, but it's yeah, it's completely derelict. That needs completely replacing. Yeah, boardwalk down to this pond all around there. That's a shame. That's a shame that's been allowed to disintegrate like that. That's a car park just behind me for those don't want to walk all the way here. Certainly a great place to pull up in your car. Doesn't like you have to pay for parking either. I imagine on a warm, bright sunny day the car park will get quite full. It's not the greatest of weather today. It's ideal for walking in, but that's about it. When you start to look around, you realise it's a bit of a boat graveyard here. They'll never sail again. And I suspect they've just been left here to assist with habitats rather than just dumped. I might be wrong, but I know boats do create a good habitat for wildlife and promote shellfish and fishes, other stuff, which obviously goes to help feed the birds and and the ecosystem thrives. So I suspect that's probably what's going on here. Well, there is definitely a yacht there that's not derelict and about to sink. You sort of have to look really, don't you, just to see. Not quite sure what that is. Looks like a drain above water. Fell during a storm and just cut away the bit that was across the path. Throwing the rest of it over here. Not sure to seats, benches to sit on around here if you were to bring a few sandwiches and a flask of coffee and so on. Very pleasant. The centre of Gillingham is a little way inland, so away from the river here. So round about a mile from here we're going to take a left turn and head straight into the centre of Gillingham. So I'm not really sure what that's going to be like. But certainly this part along this peninsula here, all the way around from Rainham, past the Horrid Hill there, around here is very pleasant to walk indeed. So this is Gillingham Meadows to the left. Looks like you can walk through there if you wish. I'm going to stick to this very windy path next to the water. Bracing. So I'm going to be leaving the footpath that runs next to the estuary here and turning left and inland, but the path continues on round there. I'm interested to see where that finally goes to. And for the purpose of this walk, I'm going to be taking a left turn here down what appears to be a normal footpath through some wooded area, so it'll be interesting. Backpack on that gets caught on those fences every time. Doing much, just in the air. Nice, quite cooling actually. Just going to come to the B2004, the lower Rainham Road, in a moment. We're just going to have to walk on that briefly and then continue in the direction we're going now towards the centre of Gillingham. I can hear the road. I'm sure that must be a different road though, because this B road sure isn't quite that busy. Must be quite close to a very busy A road or motorway. I'm going to take a left here, but there's a sign there, the Strand 1 mile on cycle route 1, and if you were coming from the Strand you'll take a left here around the Riverside Country Park where I've just come from. I'm going to be crossing over and going up that road there where the sign for free range eggs is. It's starting to fall a bit harder now. I'm hoping it's just a little temporary blip as down to the last mile and a half or so back to Gillingham. Don't really want to get drenched, although I am wearing a waterproof coat, so it won't be too bad. It's up this nice little country lane. That's a very, very busy road to my right, and I think we're going to be intercepting that at some point and crossing over it. Yeah, it's called Yokosuka Way, which sounds very Japanese. Interested to know why it's got that name. I'm sure people from this part of the world will be able to tell me. Just peeling off from that road come footpath there, down this pedestrian footpath towards looks like I'll be walking along Yokosuka Way for just a little while. Busy road. Not my favourite places to walk, but sometimes it's unavoidable. So just turned off from the Yokosuka Way up these steps, and we're just gonna double back on ourselves and walk on the next to the railway bridge. Excellent. And that's the line that leads from Rainham to Gillingham. So if you were to get off the train in one of those stations, you could easily walk to the other by this 6.5 mile loop. Grant you, this part of it isn't spectacular, but the majority of the walk, once you're by the Medway, certainly is. And this last section into Gillingham, I presume the pathway now will follow next to the railway line, as my ultimate destination on this walk is Gillingham railway station. So we've got cherry blossom blowing out the trees above in this wind, railway line to the right, and cemetery to the left. So broken away from the little alleyway next to the cemetery and the railway line. The railway line's still there, running parallel into a housing estate now, and a road running parallel to the railway line. Not that far to the centre of Gillingham now, which is a good job because it's really raining quite hard. I'll certainly be grabbing a coffee once I arrive there, and a little snack when I head off home on the train. See the floodlights above the houses there for Gillingham FC's football ground. Very close to that now as well. Those of you that follow lower league football, a trip to Gillingham is probably one of those interesting away days. Interesting. Cobham Rise emergency access. What will that be emergency access for, I wonder? Just coming out onto a street now. Indeed, there is the football stadium. What started off as quite a pleasant day on my previous video from Rainham to Horrid Hill has turned into quite a grotty day on the Horrid Hill to Gillingham section. Just walking through a regular suburb really now. Last half a mile or so into the railway station, and can start to dry off and have a nice coffee. I have to say the Raynham to Horrid Hill walk was more pleasurable than this, but mostly because that was virtually all along the Medway estuary. This has only been partly along it. That has made the difference. I can hear a train in the distance. I've just noticed, I've just walked past a level crossing here in Gillingham and it was closed. There's an ambulance there and a lot of Network Railway staff there. Apparently a vehicle's hit the level crossing and trains appear to be quite severely delayed, so as long as I can find something heading towards London fairly quickly, that won't be too bad. But yeah, it seems like the trains are now disrupted. That's okay, we'll get home eventually. No drama. Probably about 5-10 minutes away from Gillingham station now. The train I was aiming to get is probably delayed or cancelled anyway, so it'll be just a case of jump on the first one that appears. Get back as quickly as possible. Right, that's it for this one. It's a very soggy end to what was a really nice walk, particularly the other walk on the other video from Raynham to Horrid Hill. Unfortunately, this second part of the walk's not been so great due to mostly the weather. So, but that is pretty much England in the spring. Be prepared for any weather. Shorts, t-shirts, flip-flops, woolly hat, scarf, coat and Wellingtons. You could need all of them at any time. So thanks for watching and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers for now.